Okay, I'm going to keep talking through a few of these examples to help you distinguish between the 5 congruent shortcuts for triangles and the other non-congruent cases. Specifically in this video, I'm going to help you better understand the HL congruent shortcut and also how to deal with extra information in your picture besides things being marked congruent. So I'm on your worksheet on number 17 and 19. And I specifically picked out some that have right angles because you hopefully gathered that HL only works for right triangles. Okay. However, I would highly discourage you from starting with HL every time you have right triangles, because HL is not the only congruent shortcut that works when I have right triangles. In fact, any of my 5 congruent shortcuts work for right triangles. So I still have the possibility of getting something like side, angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side. And I suppose you could say side, 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 but if you know there's a right angle, then you're probably not going to be looking at 3 sides. So we'll keep those 4 in mind along with HL for my possible options here. Okay? Just to point out to you real quick on the examples that I did on the front side of the worksheet, number 3 had right angles, and that one ended up being side, angle, side for your answer, not HL. Number 4 also had right angles in the middle here, and that one ended up being angle, angle, side. So we had not even talked about HL at that point. So where's the HL case come in? I'm going to do exactly the same thing I've been doing of marking, labeling, observing what I have in my picture. So hopefully you are observing that we have a pair of angles congruent, a pair of sides congruent, and then we've got this middle shared segment between the 2 triangles, and of course we should put a tick mark there and then observe that, hey, that's another side pair congruent. So I've got 2 side pairs congruent, 1 angle pair between my 2 triangles, which is leading me to either side, angle, side, or angle, side, side. 2 S's, 1 A's, 1 A. Is it the included angle pair that's congruent or the non-included angle pair that's congruent? Okay, hopefully at this point you're getting a little more comfortable with it. And if I go ahead and highlight my sides in one of my triangles that are marked congruent, the 2 sides meet up here. Is that my angle that's marked congruent? Certainly not. The angle that's marked congruent is my right angle all the way down here on one end of my side. So we should be looking at this case, not side, angle, side. Okay, it would have to be the yellow angle that was marked congruent to be side, angle, side. ASS, not a final answer. But yes, that is the order that I have of my sides in terms of my shortcut. Okay, this becomes one of 2 things. Either we conclude that the triangles are not congruent because we did list that as a non-congruent shortcut, or we conclude that we have the HL congruent shortcut. And the simple distinguishing factor at this point is if they're right triangles, it's HL. If they're not right triangles, it's not congruent. In this case, I've got HL because they are definitely right triangles. Okay, and if you talk yourself through this, so this is my final answer right here. If you talk yourself through this, remember H stands for hypotenuse, are the hypotenuses of my 2 triangles congruent? And the hypotenuses are across from the right angle, so that would be that shared side. And the legs or the other sides, is one of the pairs of legs congruent? Sure it is. I'm looking at right here, I'm looking at that congruent to that. That's my pair of legs. So it does work if you use the HL. The problem is that there are so many right triangles that aren't congruent by HL that I like to, and all the other shortcuts have your A's and your S's. I like to just go with the A's and the S's, and if I get the ASS case, then I make my decision. Okay. Number 19, let's see how it works out. Same thing as 17. I'm going to mark what I know. I've got a pair of angles congruent, my 90-degree angles. I've got a pair of sides congruent. And then I've got this shared side, and they're kind of flipped from each other, but that counts as my second pair of sides congruent. And now I'm deciding again, is it side, angle, side, or ASS, since I have 2 S's and 1 A. Okay, is the angle pair that's congruent the one that's included between the 2 sides that are congruent? And I'm going to kind of highlight my sides here. And when I put those 2 sides together, I'm looking at the top triangle right now. The angle where they come together is right here. Is that the angle that's marked congruent? In this one, indeed it is. So that's giving me side, angle, side. Side, angle, side if I walk around my triangle. Included angle, it's looking like side, angle, side is winning out. Let's double check the other triangle. So that just means I'm going to go, hey, here's my side, angle where they come together right here. And again, that is the included angle that's marked congruent. So side, angle, side is my shortcut. Right triangles, again, you're not getting HL because we would have had to have the ASS case, and we got instead the side, angle, side case. Okay, hopefully that helps to clear up a little bit of the confusion with what is HL and how does it work. It is a special case of your angle, side, side congruent shortcut. 23 and possibly 31 on the back side might have given you some trouble. So let's take a look real quick. I'm going to do 23 and you can try 31. Just read your markings. We've been working with marking pictures and reading pictures, so nothing new here, but how's it going to work with triangles? Hopefully you're observing that we have in, whoops, guess I better not move my picture. We have in our picture, we have a pair of congruent markings and a pair of parallel markings, the triangles, for my opposite sides here. So I can go ahead and say that these markings count for sides congruent. But that's it. I'm stuck at one thing. Oh, wait. I remember from my other pictures that I can do this and say, hey, I've got a pair of shared sides in the middle congruent. Cool, so I'm up to 2 letters. I've got an S and an S. And I'm looking for a third letter. What's the other third letter? You're going to have to recall from chapter 3, what can I conclude when I have parallel lines? Because you do have these green lines parallel to each other. In chapter 3, parallel lines don't tell us anything about lengths of lines. So I'm not going to get another congruent side from that. Parallel lines have everything to do with angles being congruent. So I'm looking for a pair of congruent angles here. Again, you've got a couple possible transversals. I'm going to propose we use this middle one as a transversal. I'm going to propose that maybe we take that off of my picture. So I've got, hey, I've got parallel lines like this, and I've got transversal. That should be looking a little bit better to us for sure, especially if I go ahead and mark my lines parallel. What angle pair do we have? I just removed the lines that I don't really need here. And the angle pair, hopefully you're seeing, is that one. Ask yourself what kind of an angle pair. Alternate interior angles is what I'm seeing. And that does give me my third congruent statement. So if you said not congruent, you might have missed that angle pair. We do have 3 things here. Just double check your order. Is that the included angle? And we should be seeing side, angle, side. And same thing here, side, angle, side, as you walk around your triangle. So that is going to be the included angle there, giving me side, angle, side for my congruent shortcut. Okay, that's really getting you ready sort of for the next step, which is going to be to turn these into proofs. And you're not going to have as much marked on your picture to begin with. You're going to have to come up with more of it based on things that we know to be true.